Hello everybody, and welcome to the first Taiga AMA. My name is Crypto Care Center, also known as KIP. I really wanted to thank all of you for coming in, and this is my first AMA that I'm hosting, so I'm very nervous, but I'm very thankful that it's with Taiga and our wonderful community. I really appreciate all of you being here, and stick to the end because there will be a special secret announcement. Get excited for that. Firstly, some housekeeping rules. Please be respectful to everybody and share good vibes. Before we begin, I also wanted to just share some new community features that we have on Discord. We have our new Russian and French language channels. So very excited to have the Russian and French language channels really active there. Like it's buzzing over there. I'd had a quick look and it's very active there. So thank you to all the Russian and French communities that we have on Taiga. Let me know if you have another language or that you would like to see included. And also I want to throw your attention to the new community contributions channel, and that's a really nice place to go and see cool memes that people are creating. You can contribute art, tweet about Taiga, maybe write an article or even make a YouTube video, and we will feature you on that content create channel, and we will thank you for helping us grow, because if any retweet or any content that you make about us helps us grow and grow our community stronger and better, so we appreciate. I think Mr. Gin Tonic has been really on fire with all the memes, like high quality memes. I'm so impressed by the talent we have here in the Taiga community. So thank you for those who have contributed so far. And there should be some acknowledgement and rewards in the very far future for people who create content for us. You don't have to be an artist or wizard at memes. You can just retweet any of our tweets and link your tweets back to the content contribution channel, and we'll have a look at that. And that's it, yeah. And don't forget to stay till the end for a very special announcement. Alright, I think we can begin very soon. So thank you all for being here. And if everybody is ready, yeah. So Terry, if it's all good with you, I think we can begin.
Yeah, let's start. I think we have it shows 63 people here, so yeah, let's start. And I think people will start like trickling in more, but let's begin.
All right, awesome. So thank you all for being here. I see many names, and yeah. So I guess we can start with the introduction. So Terry, maybe you can just introduce yourself very quickly before we go into the questions. Introduce yourself,
Yeah, sure.
Your role, and yeah, take it away.
Okay, cool. Thanks for the intro, and very happy to be doing our first community AMA. As I'm not sure like when most of you guys have joined, but we officially revealed the Taiga project to the public approximately 1 month ago. So we did a brand reveal alongside the Aiga and Karura team right before Christmas. And it's fascinating to see how the community has grown quite rapidly. And I was completely shocked in the amount of support so far. And regarding to myself, I'm one of the co-founders of the Tapio and Taiga project. For those who don't know, we actually have a development lab that's called Nuts Finance. That basically built out different, different products, different protocols, mainly catered around, the different financial primitives. So we've been building in the space since 2018. Taiga and Tapio is our first project in the Polkadot ecosystem, because obviously, we see some problems and challenges in this particular space, and we feel confident with our skill set to solve some of these challenges. I can dive into the exact problem later on. It's covered by some of the questions, but yeah, and that's a little bit about me. I'll just end there.
All right, awesome. Thanks so much, Terry. I think we just jump into the questions right away. So one of
Okay.
our community members asked us, he asked this question: tell us a little bit about your team. How many people and from which countries are your team members from?
Okay. Um, so the team, as I mentioned, we're basically operating as a blockchain development lab, and Taiga and Tapio is our first project, in the Polkadot and Kusama ecosystem. Right now, our team has 9 people spread across different places, mainly between Asia and the Americas. Right now, um, our smart contract engineers are sitting in the US, and we have a few front-end developers that sits in Asia. I'm currently in Asia. I would say we're pretty decentralized since day one in terms of the team formation. We are looking to add more people to the team. So if for those who are interested, you guys could check out the announcement section or the "We are hiring" section in the Discord group. You could see all the postings that we currently have open. So we're looking for more technical talents as well as more growth and marketing talents. So if you fit any of those, feel free to submit your application. Next question.
Awesome. Thanks so much for that, Terry. I was also just recently picked up by the team, so it's an amazing team, and I encourage all of you to apply if you're interested. All right, the next question. It's a question for me actually. Can you explain Taiga and Tapio to me as if I was 5?
Yeah, that's a big question. So before I actually talk about the protocol, Tapio and Taiga, maybe I can share an analogy. Sometimes and I'll use a beverage as an analogy. Is there a times when you guys feel like having a Coke and a I don't know, Coke and another beverage, maybe
Pepsi?
use lemonade.
Oh.
Is there times when you guys feel like having a Coke and lemonade or cherry? Okay, use this. Okay, a Coke and a cherry juice. Okay, at the same time. So obviously, you're craving for both things, but you can, your stomach can only take one because you might be about to have a big meal. You don't want to get full.
True.
So in that case, how would you sort of solve that dilemma? Like, which one would you pick? Would you pick the Coke or would you pick the cherry juice? So I'm not sure where you guys are from, but where I grew up, there, Coca-Cola actually has this product called Cherry Coke. So it's to satisfy the crave for people that likes the cherry flavor, but at the same time wants to have Coke. So this analogy, what I'm trying to say is it's mixing two different items, which in this case is they're both beverages, into a single beverage, so then the consumer could enjoy sort of the best of the both pieces. Okay, so keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, and then now I'll talk about what Taiga and Tapio is. Okay, so first of all, Taiga is our implementation on the Kusama network, and Tapio, which we haven't done the brand reveal yet. It's our implementation in the Polkadot ecosystem. And ultimately, what these two protocols are designed to do is it's allowing people that are holding DOT or KSM to basically mix different versions of that assets together. So sticking to Taiga, for example, right? So right now there are different versions of KSM. So there's the native KSM. There's also liquid KSM, which is the staking version, and then there's crowd loan KSM. And soon we believe there would be a liquid crowd loan version of KSM. So these different versions, they do different things, right? Like, one is to secure the crowd loan, and then the other is to get yield, and then there's like the native version, et cetera, et cetera. So this is kind of similar to how there's like different kinds of beverages. But from a user's point of view, how would you sort of use each one? It's kind of hard to decide from a user. Like, is the native version better, or is the crowd loan version better, or is the staking version better? It's very difficult for people to to find out. So what we come up with is a synthetic version of the KSM, where we mix all the different versions of KSM into one single version. And this one single version basically takes into account of all the underlying benefits. So or nutritions. Okay, I would say nutritions because like each version sort of has their own benefits, right? So the TAI KSM basically rolls up all the different benefits so that user wouldn't need to go through the dilemma of choosing which KSM to use. So this is what we're doing for Taiga, and we're going to be rolling out something similar for Tapio. And Tapio is going to mostly service the thought asset to start with. So I'll leave it at that. Your question, I'm sure there's going to be a lot that talks about use cases. I hope that's simple enough for everyone to sort of have a grasp around.
Yeah, that's really good. I wish I heard that first before trying to crack my head around it. That's a really good analogy, Terry. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, that definitely helps understanding, especially for people new for DeFi. All right, there's a lot more people coming in, so welcome everybody again. Just want to make sure that all of you are able to hear us. So thank you for coming over. I'm hosting this EMA as Crypto Care Center. And we have Terry here, our co-founder of Taiga, Tapio, and Nuts Finance. Okay, cracking on for the next question. One of our community members asked, what are the options and what are the options we can do with our synthetic assets?
Nice question. So just following up on what I just said, so the synthetic asset, in this case, the first one that we're rolling out is called TAI KSM. So the underlying constituents for TAI KSM includes KSM and LKSM. But we're going to expand that basket to also include other versions. So, what can you do with TAI KSM? The question is, ultimately, you can do a number of things. Number one is holding TAI KSM. By default, even if you don't do anything with it, you can collect the yield, the underlying yield that gets generated from the liquid staking KSM. Okay, so it's basically a interest-bearing version. That's the first use case. The second use case is with TAI KSM, you can actually collateralize against it and borrow KUSD on the Karura the app, and that's also why we decided to launch on Karura to start with, because they have the DeFi primitives built out. So the second use case is it can be used as a collateral, and the third use case is you can actually TAI KSM is designed to remove like the liquidity fragmentation or the liquidity silos, right? So the third use case is more designed towards other projects as well. So if, let's say, there are other teams building on top of Karura, rather than supporting the different versions of KSM, which is going to create a relatively fragmented user experience, they can just support TAI KSM. So instead of supporting, the 4 to 5 different versions, they can just support Thai KSM. So then it makes the entire user experience a lot better. So that's more so from the project side. And then that was the third use case. And then the fourth use case is obviously moving Thai KSM across different parachains. So again, our design is to standardize the KSM liquidity so that it can move freely between different parachains. So ultimately, those are the different use cases for having this synthetic asset. And we believe that outside of just the KSM asset class, there will be other asset class that we plan to serve as well. So for example, stablecoin is one asset class that we're currently looking into to make a synthetic version of that. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for the answer, Terry. That sounds really useful. I guess just to recap, the first use case is that it's an interest-bearing token. And the second is that you can borrow against it on Karura. And I think you mentioned something about protocols simplifying it for users, that if they can use this Thai KSM, it's like a one token to be able to be useful for all sorts of users across different protocols. So it sounds like a really, really powerful tool that we are building here. And I'm very excited to see, especially the stablecoin version of Thai. Just quickly, just an answer, just a question from me. Just quickly, will it have interest bearing properties as well for the Thai stablecoin version?
So it depends, right? So it depends on the underlying, right? So
Right.
Right now, from looking at how the Kusama ecosystem is sort of structured, obviously they take in the crowd loan assets as DOT and KSM, and then they have the liquid staking for DOT and KSM as well. So if they create versions like that too, then yes. But if they don't have like a liquid staking version, or if they don't have, I don't think they would allow people to use like stable coins to participate in crowd loans. So
Yeah, true.
so the answer is no. So it's so by design, right? It's very much
Right.
the synthetic asset solution is very much designed to solve the sort of like the fragmentation caused by the nature of the Kusama ecosystem. So yeah.
Awesome. Just that improves so much the capital efficiency of all the users as well, which is really cool. All right, I guess we can crack on with the next one. One of the community members asked, what will be the team? What will the team do in order to reach more people to try out Taiga, as well as how would we go about introducing Taiga to more users of the Polkadot ecosystem?
That's a great question. So I would answer this question in two parts. The first part is obviously, leveraging the help of parachain teams, because parachain teams obviously has a much bigger reach, than us at the current stage, because they're one of the first ones to sort of establish their foothold in the Kusama ecosystem. So for us, really working closely with the Akala team to understand their community, as well as catering to what their community is looking for. That's definitely one way to expand reach. So we're going to replicate that strategy for other parachains as well, because I want to mention that Taiga as well as Tapio. Okay, let's focus on Taiga. We can do a separate one for Tapio later on. But basically, Taiga is parachain agnostic, meaning that we can pretty much deploy on any parachains.
Wow.
Given that there's a specific use case. Okay, so we're just starting off with Karura because of the reason that I mentioned. It's because they're the DeFi hub, the liquidity hub, So it makes sense for us to start here, but it doesn't mean that, we're going to just end here. Okay, so that's the first part. And the second part is, how do we reach more people, right? So I think, looking at the community right now, I think there's a really big population from Russia. Okay, and I think one of the reasons being was for the previous campaign that we ran, the exploration begins. I think there was an influencer on YouTube that covered us, that covered the Taiga project. Maybe because the name resembles to people that lives in Russia more because it's the boreal forest. So I would say, leveraging the power of the community and different communities. We didn't expect, our audience to be, or we didn't expect our reach to tap into the Russian region to start with, because none of the team is from Russia and none of us speak Russian. But right now we do have like ambassadors that's, doing a lot of good work for us to maintain that community. So going back to the question, how do we reach out to more? It's, we need to leverage your help as well. Okay. So if people within, your community or your sort of culture or jurisdictions that would be interested in something like Taiga, a solution, a synthetic asset solution, invite them to our Discord channels, invite them to our community calls or community AMAs, help them understand. And obviously, right, like this during this process, it's mutual, I would say. It's also for us to understand, that particular user group. I would say those are two strategies that we have right now to try to reach out to more people in the Polkadot and Kusama ecosystem.
Awesome. Thanks, Larry. All right, cracking on to the next question. I think this community member was quoting on the tokenomics of Taiga. So he quotes, growth incentives will be fully distributed through event campaigns during the bootstrapping phase. So he asks, can you explain more about these campaigns and bootstrapping phases?
Definitely. This is also a very good question. And it's definitely very, it pertains to the Taiga project as well. So for Taiga, we set aside, a percentage of the token supply for growth incentives. Okay, so what that means is, the TAI tokens will be used to basically grow the community or to, get bigger, audience reach, or, reach out to potential partners as well as potential user and product champions. Okay, so ultimately that's what the growth incentives is designed. We ran the first campaign. If I'm sure a lot of people here have participated in it, the exploration begins. So for that growth campaign, the TAI budget basically comes out from growth incentives. Okay, so the reason why you guys are here listening to me talk right now, it's probably thanks to the effects of the growth incentives. So we're looking to basically use up this budget we're looking to do more of these type of events, and the budget is going to come out from that sort of distribution. I won't share too much right now because stay till the end, because there's some exciting announcements that relates to this part. So I guess we can move on to the next question first.
All right, thanks, Terry. So next question, this community member asks also about the tokenomics. He says, do you have any coin burn or buyback systems or any token burn plans to increase the value of tokens and attract investors to invest?
Yeah, so we don't have any coin burn mechanism, but we do have buyback mechanism set in place. So how the buyback system works is through the protocol revenues that we collect, whether it's through swap or the region. This is how the protocol generates revenue. The revenue that gets generated, a portion of that will be used to buy TAI token from the open market. Okay, so in this case, most likely it's going to be from Dexis. So the TAI that gets purchased back will go into our community treasury. So this treasury is basically designed to, further incentivize the community. So what that means is, for people that are, let's say, earning TAI tokens and they're already staking TAI tokens, a portion from this community treasury would go back. So this design basically allows us to control TAI emission. So then not only depleting the part. So the buyback, works very closely with the community treasury. So it acts as a natural sort of replenishing mechanism. So, in short, the more you use TAI protocol, the more that there's going to be sort of a buyback, which contributes to the community treasury.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Terry. All right, next question. One of my favorite questions from the community member. He asks, how could a regular community member contribute to the growth of the project? Hello, you all right? Did you get my question?
Sorry, I think I missed the last part.
Oh, so the question was, how could a regular community member contribute to the growth of Taiga?
Oh, okay, cool. So I mentioned, right? So this is similar to a question that I answered a little bit earlier. How do we plan to expand to more reach? So I think definitely, right? Like, number one, if let's say you're holding onto DOT or KSM in this case, right? Our product is it's basically made for you. Okay, so you don't have to go through the trouble of choosing which version. You can just use our protocol to mint TAI KSM. So number one, how you can contribute is to use our product. Okay, to use the product, give us feedback. Share with us, how you think about TAI KSM as well as the entire sort of workflow. The second, I would say, the second way that you can also contribute is, just stay close to, what we're doing. So I think I mentioned, at the start of this call that we're currently hiring. Okay, so we're hiring technical roles and we're also hiring non-technical roles. So there's a section in Discord, the we're hiring section, that has a bunch of our postings. So you might be interested to apply, even if you're not interested, but somebody that qualifies or might be interested. Push it forward, because we do have a referral scheme. So that's also how you can contribute. And then other ways is just I would answer it this way, right? Like if let's say this was one of your project, or this is a project that you really wish to see succeed, how would you run it? Like, how would you run this community? So think about that question from that perspective, and I think you'll be able to answer this question. For example, I just mentioned finding other potential influencers on YouTube that might be interested in covering us in local languages. That is also critical. Or maybe having contacts with potential publications or on crypto Twitter that covers synthetic assets or cover Polkadot or Kusama community. Put us in touch with them. So think of if these are all different ways of how a regular community member could contribute. And I think that, taking that step forward can really, not only does it, I can't say this for everybody, right? But for me, if I was to contribute to a project, seeing it grow makes me, happy and proud as well. So, we would like to sort of reciprocate that initiatives for people that take that extra step. So that's why we're designing a bunch of different things to reward our community. So it's a relatively open-ended question, but I would just leave it like that. Leave it at that.
That's awesome. I think I'd like to also add to that just very quickly. If we have a community content contribution section, which is new on Discord as well. So what you can do is just tweet about us. Just tweet why you like Taiga or Tapio, or you can just retweet any of our, or quote tweet any of our announcements, or Twitter on Discord, and that's how you can contribute best. And we also have lots of space, and we're open to memes. So if you can create memes or artwork or write about us or just about anything, you can contribute right there on the content contribution section. Andre is a very good Photoshop editor, and he made an awesome picture for Taiga. And Mr. Gin Tonic, whom I know is in the crowd right now, he has been on fire with all the memes. So you can head over there for some inspiration. And yeah, that's how you can basically contribute and interact with our community. And I also see Mr. Dimitrio in the audience. He has been helping us by his own volition to spread the word about our AMA. So that's how you can contribute. Just very, very easily, just retweeting and just sharing our stuff. All right, moving on to the next question. Our community member asks, what partnerships are on the top priority? What partnerships are on your top priority list right now?
Great question. Two aspects as well. Number one is expanding into other parachains. So I think, we are doing, I don't want to say we're doing a good job, but I think, we're on track to sort of deliver what we promised, on the Akala and Karura network, over the course of last year and this year. So, obviously our priority is to, launch Taiga on the Karura mainnet, and at the same time, gear up for Tapio launch, on the Kala side. And outside of that, we need to we need to expand our reach to other parachains. Okay, so deploying our protocols onto other parachains that has a need to solve for the liquidity fragmentation issue, which honestly, in my opinion, most, if not all, parachains would have that need. So we basically need to go through them one by one. Okay, so that's on the parachain level, and then the second, type of partnerships that we're looking for, that we're working on right now, is to figure out, how to introduce or on-ramp more liquidity into the Polkadot ecosystem. And obviously, some of you may wonder, why do we need to do that? Because I think one of the themes for 2022 is multi-chain, multi-network. So liquidity is going to move from one place to the other. And right now, Polkadot is somewhat isolated. Obviously, there are a lot of teams working on bridging solutions connecting between, let's say, maybe Cosmos, Ethereum, and Polkadot. But once those liquidity come into the Polkadot ecosystem, how is that liquidity going to be handled or standardized? So that in itself is also an opportunity that we're seeing right now, and we're currently tackling also by forming partnerships with, in discussion and engaging people that are building those on-ramp solutions and off-ramp solutions. Once those liquidity comes in, how do we make it more efficient? That's ultimately the goal of the entire protocol. So those are the two areas that we're currently spending most of our efforts on.
Awesome. Looks like there's lots to look forward to. Okay, next question. What is in it for Taiga after the Karura integration? Is it going to be a complementary project, primarily around Karura, or will it be cross-chain, and will it be going like over different networks like Zenlink?
So this is kind of an extension of the last question. With the Karura integration, I think our approach is very similar to how other, whether it's parachains or protocols, building in the Kusama ecosystem, right? It's Kusama is an experimental network, meaning that it's a sandbox for teams to try out different things. Okay, so for us, there's a few dimensions. Obviously, from the product and technology side, it's a good way for us to, test our solutions. From a token economic standpoint, it's also a good way for us to see, how to put the tokens to use to, get the tokens into sort of, the right hands or the right wallets. And then from I would say from a liquidity standpoint, it's for us to test what kind of liquidity will come in to the space. So I would say, for after the Karura integration, we will have a pretty good idea around, those three aspects. Okay, the product technology, tokenomics, as well as liquidity part. These are also sort of the three segments or pillars that we go by internally when we measure sort of our I don't want to say performance, measure our measure like what we need to deliver in order to establish or build out a sustainable project. So once we figure out, these parts, we can easily, design sort of the right mechanism for Tapio, which is on the Akala side. Okay, so I don't want to say this is like a complementary project, because Taiga and Tapio, they're two different things. They have two different purposes. Okay, so that's that. Is it going to be a cross-chain protocol? Possibly. Okay, possibly, because ultimately, one of the biggest use case of the synthetic asset is to allow the assets to move between chains. So that's within the Polkadot and Kusama ecosystem. So that piece is definitely something that we're working on. And the second part to it is onboarding and offboarding, right? The on ramp and off ramp. So that's one piece that I just covered right now. It won't be done by us. We would need to work with partners on that part. But when it on ramps, when that liquidity on ramps, how do we make it sort of like a standardized version? How do we make it an efficient and most usable version? Obviously, that is something that that responsibility falls under our head for whichever protocols that we deploy on. So I hope that answers that question.
Awesome. Yeah, that was perfect, Terry. Thanks a lot. All right. So I guess the next question kind of leads in. This question kind of leads into the next one. This one asks: are there any plans for making the TAI token available over other chains?
Good question. I think this is something that a lot of people in the Polkadot and Kusama ecosystem is also concerned about, or wondering when XCM is going to open up. Obviously, the the goal for us is yes. So this is also like a follow on to the previous question around is it going to be a cross-chain type of protocol? The simple answer is yes, because if you think about it, if Taiga is also deployed on other parachains in the Kusama ecosystem, then it only makes sense for Tai token to also sort of be able to travel to those parachains, because each parachain sort of has their own little community or little ecosystem. So for us to sort of implement the tokenomics on those ecosystem, it only makes perfect sense. So the answer is yes.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Terry. All right. So next question. In the FAQ of the website, it states that the target users for Taiga are parachains, liquidity providers, traders, and project teams. Could you elaborate on this?
Yeah, of course. So I think these are our these are the people that we hope could leverage our protocol, our solution, our product. So parachains is pretty obvious. I just mentioned right now, we're pretty much a parachain agnostic protocol. Basically any parachains that has a need to create use cases for whether it's the dot liquidity or the dot asset or the KSM asset or other types of assets in the future, then we're sort of the right partner to help them deliver that. Okay, and for liquidity providers, this is definitely another target group that we're going after. The reason being is, for example, let's take TAI KSM. So the underlying of TAI KSM currently is KSM. So if you are holding KSM or LKSM, you can contribute that liquidity to our pool. And the advantage of that is, number one, you can collect transaction fees that gets generated through swaps. Okay, and number two is the impermanent loss is significantly reduced because the pool on our side is made up of assets that trades assets that holds a very similar value. So impermanent loss is greatly reduced. And number three is, from a liquidity provider standpoint, not only the trading fees that you could earn trading fees, but you could also earn the TAI rewards. Okay. And also, I do want to mention one thing that I forgot to talk about. It's one of the use cases is one of the hottest topic right now in the space is protocol owned liquidity. So this is ultimately a design to sort of combat mercenary liquidity. How liquidity just flows from one protocol to the other protocol. It's very difficult for project teams to sort of have stable liquidity.
Yeah.
So in this, around this problem, our sort of synthetic asset can actually be pulled together to rent out to project teams.
Right.
So this basically means that if project teams needs to bootstrap an LP pool, okay, they can provide their native tokens, okay, their project's native tokens, but at the same time, they could borrow the other side, whether it's a KSM or it's a DOT or a stablecoin. They could borrow from us because we have the synthetic asset pool. So that way, when we rent out that liquidity, the project teams, don't have to worry too much about, bootstrapping the second pair. They could just, pay a small fee to rent. And also, once that liquidity is paired, there's trading that happens, and trading generates fees, and a portion of those fees goes back to liquidity providers that are providing the synthetics. So, to quickly summarize, right? So I pretty much hit like two birds, one stone with that.
Yeah.
So, for liquidity providers, number one, you can earn like the regular trading fees. Number two is, very, very efficient. Okay. So, very little impermanent loss. Number three, there's TAI subsidies on top of just providing liquidity. And then number four is the fees that gets generated from rental liquidity. LPs get a portion of that. So it's definitely very beneficial for liquidity providers to contribute liquidity on our side. And then number four, and then also, I mentioned about the project teams, right? So if let's say, if there's a listener out there that's also building their own project in the Polkadot or Kusama space, right? We want to talk to you because we can help you. Because bootstrapping your pool, your LP pool, is something that I believe every project team would need to sort of tackle. So talk to us. Reach out to myself or anybody on the team, and I could explain further on how that design would work. And then the last group is traders. So traders meaning that so there's two types of traders, right? One is just just swapping in and out because they need that asset to do something. So in this case, whether you need LKSM or you need KSM or Thai KSM because you see opportunities, you can just trade. And for us, it's definitely very efficient on our side because of the reasons that I mentioned. So the second group of traders are people that tries to manipulate arbitrage opportunities. So but for this group, obviously on our side, there's that opportunity for you to capture as well, because the pool, as I mentioned, it's a stable asset pool. So meaning that assets that trades similarly in terms of value are pulled together. So if let's say an arbitrage traders identify an opportunity that identifies a mispriced opportunity, they could just basically that particular pair to earn a profit. So that's also why we listed traders as also one of the target users for our protocol. Kind of long-winded, but that's ultimately we basically hit a lot of the spectrums within the space with our protocol.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Terry, for that. All right, I think we have a few more questions left from our AMA chat, which our users have asked via text before. But I think after this one more question, we can open maybe about one or two very quick questions to the current live audience. So if the live audience, if you are right here right now, I think we have room for only about 2 quick questions. So you can click the request to speak button if you would like to ask a question. But do remember that this AMA is being recorded and will be published on YouTube. So if you're not comfortable with going on YouTube, then you don't have to come up and ask a question. But please limit your question to only one, and I think we have room for about 2 of them. Okay, so one more question from the text AMA chat. Terry, what are other assets that Taiga and Tapio are looking to partner with?
This is a good question. I'm not going to share too much, but definitely stable coins. Okay, so stable coins, especially right now, market is very volatile. Only the brave souls would, or the professional traders can sort of have profitable trading days out of these kind of environments, right? So for us, we want to target stable coins as the next asset outside of KSM, on the Taiga side to work on. So a few types of stable coins that we're looking into right now. Obviously, USDC being the one that a lot of people are most comfortable with. UST making a pretty big surge over the last 3-4 months. DAI, potentially USDT. This is the asset category that we will put a lot of effort to design a solution around.
All right, awesome. Thanks so much, Terry. Okay, so if you guys want to come out and ask a question, you can click the request to speak button. I think we only have room for about 2 very quick questions. I think we have one here from Freya. So Freya, if you would like to ask a question, I'm gonna invite you to speak. So remember, just keep your question to only one, and yeah, come on down. All right, I've sent the invite to you. Freya, if you're there, you can accept the invite. So thanks, Terry, for coming to explain so well about all the awesome questions, and I think you made it very clear to anybody who's also new joining in to the community, and yeah, you made it very clear to them that Taiga is here to integrate cross-chain. There's a lot of use cases for the TAI token, and the protocol is going to benefit not just users like you and me and our retail users, but also benefit the wider developer community and the wider Kusama ecosystem. So yeah, it's really cool insights to this AMA. I'm also personally learning a lot. All right, looks like Miss Freya is probably not unavailable. So I guess we'll move on to our last question here. And thank you for you guys for sticking right to the end, because I think we're gonna have a little bit of a surprise at the end. So, but yeah, this is the last question, and one of our community member asks, how will Taiga, Karura, and Akala be interconnected?
Great question. So, I think I mentioned, a number of times, how Taiga is positioned. Okay, so a lot of the designs, it's a sandbox. We could test a lot of different designs. We could test out like different kinds of implementations. So definitely around Taiga and Karura, from a product standpoint, that's how we, that's the strategy. But from a community standpoint, obviously, I mentioned that one of the ways that we're trying to grow awareness is to really partner up with the parachains. Okay, so this also leads us to think that obviously we're leveraging the existing community of Karura, and when Tapio is launched, we're gonna leverage the existing community of Akala. So instead of just leveraging, right, we also want to
Am I disconnected?
Once Taiga is launched, we will have a special pool to incentivize all the KR users. So users that are holding on to KR can contribute the KR liquidity to one of our pools to earn a number of things. Number one is earn TAI tokens. So there would be an emission design just around that. Number two, it's to earn privileges. Okay, I'm not going to share too much right now. We're still working on a few things to confirm like what we could offer, but definitely some exclusive privileges for KAR holders. Okay, so again, right, like we haven't made this for this community AMA. We weren't able to invite too many, or we weren't able to invite the Karura community officially, but we will host another one in roughly a week's time. But you guys are getting the first dips, okay? So if you guys are holding on to the KR tokens, definitely hold on to it if you guys are interested to see what we have lined up for you guys. So yeah, so that's on the community side. Like we also want to give back to people from the Karura side as well as the Akala side. So for Akala, so that's gonna happen once Tapio is launched.
Awesome, thanks so much, Terry. Could you just re-summarize that last question again, just to make sure that we get it nice and clear for the YouTube video recording? Just a quick summary of just what you The
Yeah,
integrations.
of course.
Yeah, that's a quick
This
summary.
is like the meat, right? This is why everybody's like
Yeah.
staying to the end. So one of the one of the things that we're planning to do is to incentivize KR holders. So as I mentioned, the Akala and Karura team has helped us a lot, from the product technology, growth standpoint. So, if let's say you are currently holding onto KR tokens, when Taiga goes live, we will have a dedicated liquidity pool servicing the KR token. So meaning that you could contribute KR liquidity to earn a number of things. Number one, TAI tokens. So we will have an emission designed around that specific pool. Number two, exclusive privileges. Okay, so this includes a number of things. I'm not going to share too much here right now because we're still finalizing, but I'm pretty sure it won't disappoint you guys, like the exclusive privileges. So what I'm trying to say is, if let's say you're holding on to KR tokens right now, hold on to it, contribute it to the Taiga protocol, and you I would say you'll be rewarded handsomely.
Awesome. Sounds like something to really, really look forward to. And I'm personally also can't wait to take advantage of those rewards. So before we finish wrapping up, I just would like to thank you, Terry, for taking your time to come out for the AMA. Thank you to all you guys that are here right now listening to the AMA. I think I'll still be around here, just in case if anybody wants to ask any last minute things. But to wrap up, this whole AMA will be on hopefully recorded on YouTube as well, so you can kind of refer back to that if you need. And our next AMA will be coming soon, so look out for that announcement. And I think that is about it. Also, yes, just to make sure that that everybody understands that none of this is financial advice. Please do your own research. And with that, I think Terry, do you wanna
There's one
close
more
out with
thing.
anything else?
So there's one more thing. There's one more thing that I want to share,
Sure.
because I think a lot of people that are tuning in right now, they're all wondering like when the airdrop is going to happen
Yes,
for our
yes.
previous campaign. So that's the second part that I want to share with you guys. So for all the qualified, so I appreciate everybody taking the time and effort to learn about us and go through the campaigns. I know there were some difficulties, throughout, and our team has pretty much worked around the clock to solve that. So I appreciate everybody's patience and appreciate everybody joining the first campaign. So the airdrop is going to go out on the 31st of January. So how it's going to work is the verified Karura address, the TAI token will be distributed automatically. So check back maybe on the 1st of February. You should see the token deposited to the wallet. If you don't see it, then we'll set up like a support channel then, and then we could help you out how to figure that piece out. That's number one. Number two is, I know also there are quite a number of people that participated in the campaign, but weren't able to attain the roles to qualify for the airdrop. So do not be disappointed. Do not give up, because as I mentioned, the growth incentives that we've carved out is to incentivize you guys for participating, for being a part of the community. So the XP right now in Discord that you guys are earning, we will have more campaigns that allows you to increase your XP, which helps you level up. And once you level up to the corresponding role, you will be rewarded accordingly. So what I want to say is, we have the second campaign planned out. We will be announcing that part soon. So stay active in our community, stay active in Discord, and yeah, like we basically have a lot more campaigns to push out to get the tokens into the right hands, into the right addresses. That's all.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Terry, for that. I guess I have one quick question for myself. Would there be other ways other than campaigns that people could earn XP with?
Okay, so this is tricky because working out the XP system is I don't want to say it's difficult, but it takes quite a lot of planning and logistics. We've tried something initially where rewarding people just from chatting, and then we basically designed this thing called Chat to Earn, where people are just spamming the chat, saying things that are not completely relevant. So we immediately removed that piece. But we're thinking, if you guys have any good suggestions on how to be rewarded for extra XP, then definitely let us know. And I almost forgot the last surprise. I said there was going to be
more
3,
surprises.
right? The last
Yes.
one is for guys that contributed by asking questions for today's AMA. You guys, if your questions was picked, you will be rewarded with TAI token as well, and that will go out alongside with the first airdrop that we'll be giving out on the 31st of January. So we didn't announce this initially because we really hope that people that truly care about the questions that we picked out from, we'll reach out to you with Discord confirming that you've been selected. So just again, right, a lot of good questions. It was difficult to pick, but we had to pick 10 to just start off with. But I would encourage you guys to just pay attention to all the events that we have lined up, because you never know when you'll be sort of incentivized.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Terry. I think that's all the questions we have. And I just want to thank you all for listening and joining in, and thank you for staying all the way to the end. I guess I do have one suggestion for how people could earn XP other than the campaigns. Perhaps maybe something we can think about is that we can reward certain contributors that help out with the project in any way, maybe with content or with community building or answering community questions. Perhaps maybe we could reward some XP to certain outstanding community members if we could find a system for that. But that's just an idea.
Yeah, sure. We can design something around that. It's just the tracking that we need to spend some time to figure it out. But we're open to different suggestions.
Definitely. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for attending our first community AMA. I think it was quite a good success. We peaked at around 160 members, so thank you all of you that attended. We do recognize your names. Zintonic, Andy, Svelana, Ziama, Miao Mao, Sergey. We do recognize all your names, so thank you so much for being here. And as Terry mentioned before, in the next AMA and this AMA as well, you are rewarded for great questions. So if your questions are picked, you might be rewarded in some way. And I assume, according to Terry, you might be awarded in the TAI token as well. So thank you so much for being here. I'll be sticking around here in case anybody else has any immediate questions. But other than that, I guess Terry, do you want to close the AMA?
No, I think that's thank you for everybody's time, and I truly look forward to the next time we chat. So this is the first one. I think it was done quite nicely. Thank you, everyone.
Alright, thank you so much, Terry. Thank you everyone for joining, and I'll see you in the next one, and we'll always still be around in the community, whether on Twitter, Telegram, Discord. Join us all there, follow us there for all the latest announcements and content that will be coming out very, very soon. So take care everybody, and we'll see you very, very soon. See you next time. Goodbye, Taigans.
Okay, bye.
Thank you all for being here, and have a nice day. Have a nice day. Privyet, sayonara, see you. And I'll be here if you guys want to ask any immediate questions or anything of any concerns that you might come up with. I'll be just here chilling. And yeah, that's it. Otherwise, you're all free to go. Thank you so much for being here, especially those who came here from the very beginning. I do recognize your names. So thank you, Dimitrio, G-Lord, Chaos Zero, Lubov, Constantine, F, Vajdas, Run Rerun, Jace Block, Daniel, Chris, Kate, Grad. We all, we appreciate you guys being here from the very beginning. So thank you so much. And to those who came a bit later as well, don't worry, you didn't miss too much. We will have the whole recording on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. So we'll make an announcement on that, where you can go and follow our YouTube and subscribe over there, because I'll be personally making lots of educational content over on YouTube as well. More on the TAI token, Tapio, Taiga, and just DeFi in general. So thank you so much again. I'll be here to ramble on, but you guys are free to go, and you guys should go, because there's lots to do in the DeFi world. And yes, announcements will be happening very, very soon, and announcements are gonna come out in big waves, so be ready for all of that. Otherwise, hey, if you're here to stay and chat, you're free to come, and otherwise you're free to go and explore the world of the Karura ecosystem and the Akala ecosystem. And next AMA, we'll definitely have we'll hopefully have a bigger turnout, officially inviting the Akala and Karura networks as well to join our AMA. And also, if you have any feedback on our AMA, please do leave us a comment on how we can improve the AMA session, because this is our first one, and this is my first time organizing and hosting an AMA. So a lot of any feedback on how to improve would be much, much appreciated. Thank you to all the Russian and French communities out there, and well, what can I say? We appreciate you guys, especially those who are contributing to the content contribution and create content section. Really funny memes out there. I hope you guys check that out. Lots of memes created by our Gin Tonic friend, and yeah, lots of cool content there. Remember, you can always contribute by tweeting our content, tweeting about us. I gave an example over at the content creation section, so you can just tweet anything. Just say good morning, and tag good morning and tag Taiga Protocol, and that's it. That's contributing more than what we would ever dream or ask for. So make sure you also link that tweet into the create content section, so that we know that you contributed. I can't promise any incentive rewards for that yet, but we definitely recognize the names who are contributing content, and we will definitely reward you and recognize your contributions to the community. Also, yes, any memes, artwork that you are submitting on the create content section, I'm going to suggest to the design team to include that as a Taiga community Discord stickers. So we don't have Discord stickers yet, but we do have I believe we do have... No, we don't have emojis yet as well. So yeah, if you are free to just suggest any emojis or stickers, chuck them in the create content section, because I know you guys are very, very talented, and I know you guys are awesome community members, and many of you are here not just because for the TAI airdrops, but here because you guys are passionate about DeFi, passionate about increasing your capital efficiency, on KSM, on your DOT, on your Kala, and many, many more tokens to come. So thank you so much for being here. You don't have to be here. You can really go right now. You can just go, like, unless you guys are bots, and I've been talking to bots the whole time. But but yeah, feel free to go. I'm just rambling on here just to chill with you guys, and yeah, just to listen to my own voice, because who doesn't like to listen to their own voice? I guess some people are trying to request to speak, so maybe I'll just if you guys really want to come and just chat with me here right now, you're welcome to. I guess we can have Mugen up if you are willing to come and chat, or if you want to say something. Just make sure you don't spam anything crude or anything, because you are. Well, I guess I'll stop the YouTube recording here, so I'm gonna invite you up. And yeah, we just you guys are free to go, and the AMA is over.
Hey man, how you doing?
Oh, hey Mugen, how are you? How are you?
I'm good. I'm not gonna take too much of your time.
No worries.
Do we know when the YouTube video will be up? Or
Yeah, so we are gonna create the channel, and I'm gonna compile this whole AMA, because I hopefully the recording works. Hopefully. Yeah, and then I'll be probably uploading it tomorrow at the earliest. Did you miss something at the beginning?
no. I'll probably be sharing my notes from it if anyone needs it.
Oh, thank you so much.
channel.
That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
notes, and we'll probably translate it in French as well, because some community members don't speak English very well.
Génial.
So I'll translate it in
Oh,
French,
fantastic.
and I'll send it in the French channel down there.
Oh, fantastic. Bonjour, to everybody who's out there. I just forgot all my French, but never mind.
Bonjour is a good start.
Je m'appelle Crypto Care Center. Je t'aime French community.
Yeah, the DeFi French community is huge. You should ask Norisk. Norisk is one of the moderators you have here. And yeah, if any French community members have questions, he'll be there.
Okay, awesome. I had no idea the DeFi French community was so big. I guess there are lots of French developers. I know, but.
Oh yeah, I won't take much more of your time. Maybe other people.
Oh, no worries. So we're just here chilling. The AMA is over, so we're all kind of just free to. Yeah, I'm just here as an outro guy. Everybody can leave. Like, you guys can go if you want, but I'm just here to just keep.
Yeah, it's over, boys.
Yeah, thanks for taking those notes, Mugen. I really appreciate.
Yeah,
it.
no worries. No worries. Have a good day, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, and thanks for your contributions. Maybe you can pop that into somebody, or just pop into the Taiga chat. Yeah.
I'll clean it up a little bit because it's messy, but yeah.
Sure, or you can just chuck it into the content contribution section, and we can just tidy it up. It's meant to be a messy place anyway, so.
For sure. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mugen.
Okay, man. Enjoy. Bye.
Enjoy. Take care. Merci beaucoup. Okay, all of you guys. And let me know if you guys want to see any content, or help us suggest any content that you want, like especially on education about Taiga and Tapio, education on DeFi in general. I'm a DeFi DJ myself. I identify as a frog from the Frog Nation, so any of you Frog Nations out there, you can just come and say hi. You can always chat with me in the Taiga chat, the main Taiga chat. I'm always there to answer any of your questions. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, feel free to use the space freely, and don't forget to contribute Twitter tweets, videos, memes, and our content creation and contribution section. You can always just go there and enjoy the memes out there. You don't have to contribute anything if you don't want to. But yeah, on behalf of the whole team, I'd like to thank all of you for being here, and please come back for our next AME, and there'll be lots more content coming up. I understand there'll be the roadmap. Yes, the roadmap will be coming out hopefully next week. We're working on it. Just have to confirm certain dates. We're getting a very beautiful artwork on it. Well, I think we're going for a more simplistic, minimalistic style. But yeah, we're going to have some great designers on it for the roadmap, so everybody can see all our milestones that we have achieved so far. And yeah, so that we all can kind of track our progress throughout the whole journey and our whole project. So yeah, thank you so much everybody, and I'll be closing the chat very soon. Thank you so much for joining us. If you missed out on the AMA, just remember the whole recording will hopefully fingers crossed be on YouTube, and that will be it. Thank you so much for watching and staying to the end. See you in the next one. This has been Crypto Care Center. I appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget, we're all gonna make it together. Bye bye.